we'll see Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, we've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Washington Commanders. Joining Charles Davis up in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is time to begin another NFL season. Here we go. And it's a new era for Washington, making their debut under the Commanders' name. And, Charles, they're going to face a team in Jacksonville who is starting this year up with a new man in charge as well. So newness on both sides here in this one.
Yeah, and only 3 combined playoff appearances in the last 9 seasons for both of these teams. Washington certainly hoping their new Commanders nickname can bring newfound success after finishing 7-10 last year. They're 4th in 5 years, finishing with 7 wins. In Jacksonville, they're hoping a brand new coaching staff and a breath of fresh air can bring the most out of a young core after going 3-14 last season.
Jacksonville's offense trots out here for the first time, and all eyes go right to number 16. Now in his 2nd season as the team's face of the franchise, Trevor Lawrence.
For everyone who expected the highly talented Trevor Lawrence to champion the Jaguars to instant success last season, well, they got a little bit of a reality check. Despite the struggles, though, he still took on a major leadership role within the locker room and among the team. He also flashed some of his considerable potential on the field, particularly in a defiant Week 18 win over Indianapolis that knocked the Colts out of the playoffs.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. So this, the 90th season of Washington football. Of course, here, the first season and first ever regular season game for the Washington Commanders. That name unveiled in a grand reveal back on February 2nd. The franchise opting to keep the burgundy and gold color scheme, adding the striking W logo on each side of the helmet and the single gold stripe running from front to back. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now left side on the swing pass. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Lawrence. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick-6 for a Washington touchdown. Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick-6 to take the lead.
Partner, you'd have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say their plan worked to perfection.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. Heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Lawrence will try again after the pick six. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Now Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders are hoping to provide stability for each other starting in 2022. It's the 3rd team in 3 years for Wentz and the 4th starter in 4 years for Washington. The big thing with Wentz has always been staying on the field. And last season in Indianapolis, he played a full 17 games, leading the Colts to a 9-8 record and almost into the playoffs.
Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting. Things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
The run got 4, now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Gibson, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. They'll run with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10. At their own 11. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. The tackle by Cole Holcomb.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a 1st down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Lawrence. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
Laviska Shenault, here's a name that a lot of teams league-wide have kept eyes on. Flown a bit under the radar through his first 2 seasons, but he has produced 600 yards in each as a target eater. Not hard to see why the league remains high on him, especially when he makes catches like that.
And oh, a dangerous throw there. Nearly intercepted on the sideline, but it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
A play fake for Robinson. Now Lawrence. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Commanders will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. Room here to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. What we saw there, that's what we know that he can do. He can break tackles and turn them into big runs, and that's what he did.
And what is the buzz phrase nowadays in football for a guy like that? Contact balance. The ability to go through trash, come out the other side, avoid and run through contact, and keep your balance.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Straight ahead, Gibson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Once more, Gibson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, 35 yards. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Slide for the PAT. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Just a 4-play drive that time. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Lots of incompletions on first and second down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Again, it's Lawrence. And that's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. It's taken to the 26. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Wentz bringing the Commanders out for 1st and 10. On their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 53 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now Wentz. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Gibson again. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They hand off to their big tight end. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. A handoff for Gibson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Foyesade Aluakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Commanders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Lawrence will throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And out will come the offense as they take over. Washington's offense ready to go again. There's Antonio Gibson. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Wentz now on first down. Slings this deep for McLaurin. Oh, a leap it. He will make the catch. A huge play there for Washington. 51 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll run with Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Commanders are able to add on to their first-half lead. So what a first half that he has had running the football. That now 3 touchdown runs. And I would anticipate that when they get down in the red zone, he's going to get more chances as this game goes on. And I think that the guys blocking for him are going to ask for him to get more chances. They like the rhythm they've developed. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2nd and 5 now. Lawrence, a slant to Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards for number 11.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. Complete to Jones. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Lawrence going to throw again. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's got it to about the 40. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along. This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. A give to Gibson running right.
Had a nice move but can't break away. Down just inside the 30.
And the tackle made by Andrew Wingard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal.
They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Montez Sweat with the tackle. Here's the option going left on 2nd down. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right,
we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the 3rd quarter. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Wentz now on 1st down.
That one is slant to McLaurin, finding room at midfield.
Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin, 75 yards. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 23. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now Lawrence to throw.
Caught by Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Here's Lawrence. He targets Ingram for another grab.
The ball comes out.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed 1st down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the 1st, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. They'll go again with Gibson.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
131 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
57, Mike, 57.
Here's a give to Gibson.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, Their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
57's Mike. Mike 57. I got it.
On the ground with a tight end. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Pick it up. 57's the Mike. Watch 57. Watch the run. Watch the run.
A give running right, Gibson.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Double time. Double time. 3 down. 57's the Mike. 57's the Mike.
On the counter, Gibson.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. They give it off here to the tight end. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. That one goes for 8 yards.
Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. What we got?
On the draw, it's Gibson.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch the pass.
Once more, Gibson.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
155 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
They'll try to run with Gibson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson punching it in from a yard away. And the Commanders just continue to roll. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Sly on for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Now Lawrence. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. On the move past the 40.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence being chased out left.
And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the 1st down in the process.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
On 1st down, Lawrence. Screenplay, here's Etienne.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Lawrence, out route. He finds his man. It's Jones. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes Antonio Gibson as he's set for another drive.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin.
On the move past the 40.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
Able to spin free. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options are wide open.
They hand off to their big tight end. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
The carry here for the big tight end.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. John Bates taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Commanders are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Well, CD, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown.
Now Joey Sly for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line.
He'll throw from the gun. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Play action. It's Lawrence.
Steps away. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
Slide for the PAT.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Back to you.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10.
At their own 27.
57's Mike. Mike 57. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. He's crying lion. Check the crowd.
Wentz slings this deep for McLaurin. It got his man complete.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. Sly on for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a mistake, a surprising mistake there in the kicking game as he sends that one out of bounds.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At the 40. Back to throw. Lawrence. He completes it to Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Talk about two sides of the ball, cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Robinson. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Dancing to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Carl Nassib shooting in and taking him to the ground.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack.
He'll drop to throw.
This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking long for Thomas. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
In a spot where most offenses would just be trying to get to the finish line and close this game out, they're still looking for points here in the final minute of this game. I think bonuses could be gained and attained with maybe more points.
And they are able to spike it, cutting it close, but 2 seconds left on the clock. And they will take a knee here.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Commanders,
it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts.